So I have all three pairs here with me, and I also have my supplies that I'm going to need, which is my bowl of hot water. I'm again using this little casserole dish. I have brought this water to a boil in the electric kettle, and then I've let it cool for about 5 minutes before I poured it into the dish. And then as it sits here, of course, it's cooling off a little bit more. So that makes it the perfect temperature, again, to dip my finger into, and it's tolerable for a second, but then I have to take it out, and I've found every time this is the perfect temperature to do adjustments with. On acetate, again, this is a disclaimer just for acetate, which is perfectly fine because all three of these pairs of Carfia are acetate. So then I also have a towel just to wick away any moisture that helps me make a better adjustments. The first one that we're going to work on here is this classic round with a keyhole bridge, and its particular issue is that it's a little narrow here in the front of the temple. So the very first inch of the temples is quite tight to the point where it's squeezing my head. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to adjust this, and the first thing we're going to need to do is fold one temple in and get ready to submerge basically the whole temple in the water. So we're going to be bowing it out or putting a curve in where one doesn't quite exist yet. So I'm going to submerge this whole temple in the water here. If I were just adjusting this back piece, then I would just put that in, but for now we're going to just put this whole thing in because that's the only way that we're going to be able to reach the part that we need. So I'm going to leave this in for about 15 to 30 seconds, just depending on how hot your water is. You can take it out and kind of gauge how hot it's getting. If you feel like it's heated mostly throughout, then you can stop. For me, I'm going to leave this in for a couple more seconds just to make sure I'm really achieving the level of heat that we need for this to be successful. So now I'm going to just dry that off a little bit. So now with my thumb on the inside, or both thumbs on the inside, and index fingers on the outside, I'm going to put my thumbs where I want to put the curve in, and then I'm going to use the index fingers to sort of support the outside as I push the inside with the two thumbs. And I'm going to give this, some gentle but steady pressure, and I'm going to be taking note of everything that's happening. Is it bending a little bit without anything else giving? Is it creaking? If you hear the metal stem inside creaking, that's usually not an issue, but if it's making a really loud noise, you might want to stop and see what's going on. I'm going to continue to go with that. Likewise, if the hinge is making any noise, or you see the hinge start to move in a way that it's not supposed to, then definitely discontinue that. But as long as you're using your index finger to kind of hold the place on the outside, right outside of the hinge, this really helps support that part, and you're not actually putting too much stress on the hinge this way. So I've pushed this out now, and as you can see, it has quite a bit more curvature than the other side does. So we're going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to fold in the side I just did and submerge the other side again. Okay. So now same thing for the other side. I'm going to use the index fingers to support everything again, and the thumbs open up the other side temple because it just helps. And then sometimes you might want to follow it down the side of the temple as well, further down towards the curve. You might want to keep inching along and helping that to form and make a new shape outwards. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a curvature in both sides and each temple, so that when I put these on, it is a comfortable fit. Nothing is squeezing my temples anymore. If you find that it has made the temples, how they curve where they meet, closer together and tighter, then like I said, just follow that tip where you keep pushing and making that bend as you go down all the way down the temple, and it will widen it down there for you. So also a quick little thing, I want to talk about how I dry these just to make sure there's no moisture left in the hinge and that there's no rusting. Is first I'll take a towel and just dry it off like that, and then I will take this to the bathroom and use a hair dryer, and I'll hold it at every different angle. So I'll hold it like this and shoot it with a hair dryer, hold it out at a 90-degree angle and shoot it with a hair dryer, And then I'll just do that at various angles with the hair dryer to really dry up any moisture that's lingering. It'll help any moisture fall out and then evaporate as I go. And then I don't have to worry about tarnish happening to my hinges or other issues like that.